Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Ida Lee, and this is Raw Emotions. And today I have with me Miss Bella. We've been having a little bit of a rough break. Yeah, it's just the time of year. Um, the barometric pressure change, the rain, the 54-degree day we had. Yeah, Michigan weather. Um, yeah, anyways, thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel and for sharing these videos. It is much appreciated. But, little Miss, I thought we would come do a video and see how she would do today. Like I said, just because, she'll ham it up for the camera. So we'll see what she does. But just a few topics that I was wanting to talk about is hot flashes. I am 43 years old, and I needed to have a hysterectomy when she was a year old. I have endometriosis, and every month for the first year we were in the hospital, and I was having monthly periods. And was speaking with my OBGYN, it was time. So that was, procedure was done, and I still do have my ovaries. So I'm experiencing hot flashes. I am having premenopausal symptoms. And what's interesting is when you do have the hot flashes, that's when the rage, it's a different. It's really weird to explain, but it's like you're just instantly pissed. You're hot, you're sweaty. You have no idea why. Your clothes are like literally sticking to you, and you're just like, just like, get me cooled off. And then the night sweat started. And that was just like not cool. I would wake up in the middle of the night, literally in a pool of sweat. And, I'd have to lay a towel down, change my clothes. My pillow would still be wet, the top sheet. And it was just like, this is just gross. And it's the middle of the night, you want to go back to sleep. That's precious time. Come on. And I do have to thank one of my cousins. She's the one that had, mentioned that the more she eats sugar when she binges, that's when her hot flashes are worse. So that thought has always kind of stayed with me. And I thought, and I've talked a little bit about food. I am a health coach. I play with my diet quite a bit. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give up sugar. Let's just see if this will work. Which, come on, sugar's like crack, okay? I mean, all the studies you read, it should be on the controlled substance list, okay? Seriously. You give a baby sugar, what do they do? I mean, come on. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. So, apple fritters, my comfort food. Yeah, that's my comfort food, apple fritters. I need one a day, sometimes two. So, that was hard to give up. And I really don't eat that much processed sugar. I'll have chocolate here and there. I do have to be careful because of the dairy. I am lactose intolerant. I do eat a lot of organic cacao. But again, I just gave up the processed sugar. And, within 2-3 days, I was noticing they were actually starting to decrease. What that means is it wasn't just like this inferno. It was starting to, I was having them, but they just weren't as severe. And the night sweat's the same thing. It was just like, again, instead of waking up in a pool, it was half a pool, and they just started to decrease. And by day 5, gone. Like no hot flashes whatsoever. And I was like, wow, okay, there is something to this. Seriously. And I stayed off sugar, golly, for like 3 or 4 weeks. It was probably a good month. And life happens. You cheat, you fall back into your old habits. You're feeling good. Why not? You're like, I'm okay. I can handle this. And I was back on sugar 2 weeks maybe. And lo and behold, what happened? I was smack dab in the middle of hot flashes and night sweats. And I was just like, okay, that's it. And I gave it up, right before Christmas. Walked into, the dessert room at the family gathering, and everything looked great. It was, looked mouth-watering great. Had no desire to touch it. Night sweat, 5 seconds of instant pleasure. I'll take no night sweats. It's your priorities, It is what you want it to be. So, play with your diet, I mean, yeah, you have no idea what you're sensitive to and what you're reacting to unless you start to pay attention and take things away, and it takes 2 weeks. 2 weeks for something to come out of your system. So you won't know if you're sensitive to it or not unless you've given it up for 2 weeks. And then you slowly have to add it back into your diet. And you'll know, trust me, you'll know within a day or two. Sometimes within an hour if you're sensitive to it. This little missy likes to throw up. And that's how I discovered that she was allergic to corn and corn syrup. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I play with our diets quite a bit. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is kombucha. I am hopefully going to be learning how to make it soon. I'm super excited. Apparently you have to have your own starter yeast. I have not read. I'm probably quoting everything wrong, so Sarah, forgive me. I don't have my facts straight. But it's called a Scooby, and I need a local friend to share their Scooby with me so I can get mine started. So how this all came about, I felt like I was starting to have a bladder infection come on, a UTI, and I have something called D-Mannose that I keep on hand for Bella. It's in a powder form. And I thought, I'm not going to mix this up for me. So I went and I bought the pill form. And I also stopped at Kroger and I thought, I'll get some kombucha as well. And I noticed that they had cranberry. And I thought, well, I'll get cranberry. It's really hard to find unpasteurized cranberry juice unless you're going to juice it yourself. And we all know what that tastes like. And if you buy it in the store, it's going to be processed. It's going to have sugar added to it. And what's processed mean? It's pasteurized. It's been boiled. All the good stuff's been boiled out of it. You can buy cranberry pills, just so you know. But anyways, I, had bought some of the kombucha. And I had seen my sister post on Facebook, about making hers with a friend, and I was just like, oh my gosh, seriously, that's the one thing that I don't make, and here I am buying it, and we were just on the phone talking, and I was like, I'm like, can you make it without sugar? And she's like, we're going back and forth, and sugar's not the thing that bothers me, because it's what type of sugar is being used. If it's fructose, that's the sugar from fruit. If it's anything else, it's processed sugar. My concern is the caffeine. I have completely given up coffee. I love coffee. Love it, love it, love it. Love the smell of it. I am a black organic roast chick. Maybe a sip here and there, but that's it. Gives me diarrhea, and it's the caffeine, and then of course, you're jittery all day long, I don't need to shake. So I've given up caffeine, and in order to make it, you do need to use tea. Are you saying hi? You need to use tea, and there's caffeine in tea. And so I was inquiring as to, if we could use the flowers, tea flowers, if you needed to use the actual tea bags. And yes, you need to use the tea. And as we're going back and forth, it just dawned on me. It's like, wait a second, you've been doing this for 3 days now, and you haven't had diarrhea. This is something I have not talked about. My very inner circle knows about it, and even then I don't think they know how bad. I have had diarrhea every single day for the last 6 or 7 years. Every day for the last 6 or 7 years. Stress. Like I said, I play with my diet. I take things out, I add things in. One thing I've never thought to add in has been kombucha. I do probiotics. I do digestive enzymes. I have activated charcoal, apple cider vinegar. I have stuff on hand, and I've bought it here and there. I've read about it. Again, you're just so inundated with information. You can only handle so much of it at a time. So anyways, I have been regular for 2 weeks, and the only thing different has been the kombucha. So I am super excited to start making it. I've been giving it to her a little bit. I haven't really noticed a difference with her, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Hold up. I do have to give a huge update. This little girl right here has not had a sick day this entire school year. This entire school year. That's huge. Huge. She's had seizure days, but she's not had any sick days. And we'll take it. It's still rough. She still has hard days. When the seizures wipe her out, and it's a lot for us to handle. It's a lot. It's the care. It is exhausting mentally and physically. But it's something that we do with pleasure and love and joy. But where she was a year ago, 2 years ago, no sick days. No sick days. I have finally figured out she has a crush on her bus driver. I don't think I've said that. It took me a little bit to figure that out. I kind of chalked it up to her age. She was sleeping in, and I'm one for letting her sleep in. I don't care if I have to take her to school 5 days a week. If she wants to sleep in, I'm going to let her sleep in. And I was probably taking her to school 2 to 3 times a week. And this is on the old bus, and I wasn't really picking her up quite a bit unless we had appointments. We changed the bus. She's getting up early. Okay, and the bus, is coming earlier. The bus used to come and pick her up at 8:15. Now the bus comes about 7:40. Okay, so that means we have to get up. She needs to be up at 6 o'clock, so that we're just not rushed. Trying to get everything ready in the morning. She's up at like 5:30 if she sleeps. Okay, that's if she sleeps. But, she's getting up, and I'm thinking, she's just excited. She's got a new bus, her needs are being taken care of. And it finally dawned on me, one morning I'm strolling her out to the bus, and she's, just all, arms and legs just kicking away, and laughing. And he's talking to her, and she just starts giggling. I'm like, oh my goodness, she has a crush on you. And he was like, what? And I was just like, Bella has a crush on you. It was the cutest thing ever. And it's adorable, every morning he says good morning to her, and it makes her day. She gets on the bus, the teacher puts her on the bus in the afternoon, same thing. And when I told her teacher what was going on, she's like, oh, it makes sense. And it's just like, don't get me wrong. She has milestones. And you have to be in a place to step back and appreciate what she's doing. And I'm glad I can do that. I'm glad I can recognize, she's 10 years old. She has her first crush. We're watching movies on Netflix now, which she's never done. The Princess Diaries are her favorite, it seems to be so far. We watch those quite a bit. But, yeah. So, anyways, I just wanted to talk about those 2 things. I hope you all have a very happy new year. I hope you all had a great Christmas. Um, you know, it's being with your family. It's being with your loved ones. It's sharing your joy. And that's all that we're here to do. You know, if we can't share what works for one, why not? You know, what's the point? It may not work for you, but hey, if it doesn't work for you, it may work for somebody else. Pass along the knowledge, you know? I mean, I'm always up, you know, for something that doesn't work for me, you know? I mean, heck, why not? Let's try it, you know? Within reason. Can you say bye to everybody? Huh? Can you sit up and say bye? We kind of slouched down there a little bit, didn't we? Hey, can you say goodbye to everybody? You say, Happy New Year! Yes. Yes. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great night.